National Agency for Ethics and Values to provide for the functions and powers of the agency, the qualifications and procedures for appointments of the chairman and members, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall the report was laid on Thursday, 15th June 2017. Honorable Odebunmi Olusegun will move for its consideration.
Odebunmi Dokun is my name. I represent the good people of Surulere Ogulua Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value on a bill for an act to establish a National Agency for Ethics and Value to provide for the functions and powers of the agency, the qualification and procedure for the appointment of the chairman and members, and for related matter, and approve the recommendation therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
I move that the House do dissolve into Committee of the Whole for the purposes of consideration of the report. I so move.
Seconder.
Of the House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values. I now invite the Chairman House Committee of that committee to give an insight into the report. I think it's a new bill, so Chairman, in 2 minutes.
I represent the good people of Surulere Ogulua Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, this is the report of the Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value on the bill of an act to establish the National Agency for Ethics and Value to provide for the functions and powers of the agency, the qualifications and the procedure for the appointment of the chairman and member, and for related matter. Mr. Chairman, as you said, this is a new bill. Actually, the agency somehow has been existing, but without appropriate act. And to that effect, they cannot perform their duly functions. And that is why we come out with this act, with this bill. Mr. Chairman, and I can vividly tell you that this bill is one of the popular bill that attracts over 700 people across the Federation during the public hearing. Just to tell us, to prove to us that many people are in conformity with this bill. Actually, if you recall back to the National Orientation, Ethics and Value is existing somehow, but they are not really performing that duty. And by the law of the Federation, you know, the national ethics is also recognized by our Constitution. There has to be, discipline, integrity, dignity of labor, social justice, religion, tolerance, self-reliance, patriotism. All these are also recognized by the Constitution of this Federation. But it is not scheduled, the responsibility is not given to any agencies since the inception of the Constitution. To oversee these activities in all the places of working in the NBS, even in the private places. Nobody is shadowed with this responsibility to make sure we are all performing, or everybody is working according to the laid down rules of the Constitution. And that is why some people come up together to come up with this bill so that we can have one agency that will shadow with this responsibility in order to have a sanity in the environment, in all the FDAs, in the working places, both private and public. And that is the major reason behind this bill. Mr. Chairman, I so submit.
Those who prepared the documents did not do so in accordance to the standards. They didn't. The standard of the bill presentation. So I will advise members to please, in considering this report, concern yourself with column 1 alone. So by that, this bill has 34 clauses instead of the 78, 88 that you are looking at, which look more of interpretation to some of the phrases in the clauses. So we are going to consider clauses in column 1. Atua?
So, Mr. Chairman, I tended to agree with you until I started looking at some of those in the middle column, and it looked like they're also clauses. They're not? Okay. I'm looking at 47, 48, for example, at page.
It's a whole lot of confusion here because my experience when I just saw it, and they now came to tell me and observe the same thing. I think what we do, not to consider this thing in confusion. So we advise, we step down the consideration of the report. It will be prepared later to follow the standard. Because like Atua has observed, ordinarily, since it's a new bill, it should be straightforward. So, Chairman, information, national orientation, ethics and values, without prejudice, we step down this, and we will advise the chairman rules and business if you can get ready between now and Tuesday to make it a priority report so that by the special grace of God on Tuesday we consider it. But the numbering is confusing. Like Atua observed, some of the clauses in column 2, some of the presentation in column 2 look like clauses 2. So if you say clause 1 and it's not well encompassing, then. So on that note, Chairman, can you seek for the report to be stepped down? I've advised the chairman rules and business will help you to list it on Tuesday, but make sure you contract the appropriate quarter so that they do the proper numbering.
Move to step down the consideration of this report till Tuesday, as suggested by the chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Report is stepped down by the leave of the House.